Hello, this is a Cosmic Otaku, and today we are going to react to Quango Wars, featuring Skybrow Cinematic Universe, Cosmic Dreamers, AI MV, VTuber Cameo Slop Part 2. So, I'm pretty sure Part 1 is I'm Not Human. That's what that would make sense to me, right? But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me on this. Okay, so let's jump into this. This is a 5-minute video. Let's hope that I don't turn this into a 2-hour stream, right? 2-hour video. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure that there's an... Oh, the bane of my existence. Hold on. That's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. Subtitles, English auto-generated. No! No, the subtitles are auto-generated. Damn. Finishes at 1:59. Oh my god. Hold on. Let's see. Kuro says, "Oh yeah, I'm actually in this." Lol. Oh, fair enough. I'm in a theater poster in it. Fair enough. Please, for the love of God, people, put your lyrics in your video. Right? Makes it easier for me to look at and read. Okay, so obviously immediately we have like Vettel with his two AI daughters, Neuro and Evil. Oh my god, that's fast. Hold on. That's a very obviously Shy Lily. I put my lyrics in the description. Fair enough. Close enough, right? Okay, so you got Shy Lily undergoing a transformation from the dark Rain, right? It's a terrible day for Rain, right? And we then transition into Radiant Light. Okay, I'm gonna have to cheat with this one. This one's not ringing a bell. Cerber VT. Is that Cerber? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Who is that? Because those are two different people. Okay, that says Cerber VT. Is that actually... Hold on. I might actually have to... Hold on, okay. That is Cerber VT, okay. I might have to cheat for this one. Right? I'm not so deep in the... Damn it, Boo Huckley. Don't use me as a reason to drink. Oh my goodness. Kuro says, I have been redoing most of my songs, closed captioning. Fair enough, right? Damn it. Boo Huckley's gonna be absolutely plastered at the end of this, because I have a habit of saying that. But, it does make it easier to follow along. Let's see. Keel Nala says, "Good thing I let you run." Captain Rudy says, "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying," right? Kenok says, I see what Boo Huckley's doing. I see what you're doing. You're conspiring against me here, right? I'm trying to keep people sober, and then y'all are conspiring for drunkenness. And yeah, that's Megalodon. And that's Min... Oh, wait, it actually says it at the bottom, too. Well, I already... So, yeah, it says in the bottom, Miniko Mew, which I don't think I've ever seen a Miniko Mew video, unless I'm mistaking her for someone else. Okay, that is Aqua VT. Okay, that is... Wait. Ah, Kamimi! Right? Oh, my God. Kamimi is one of my favorites, man. She is so adorable, right? She's an actual cutie pie. And... You know what? I appreciate when people can actually admit that they were wrong and that they have misjudged people. And, you know, there was that one Rev video where it's like, where I got informed about the fact that, like, oh, yeah, she actually completely changed her opinion on this because she found that it's just fun. And it's like, oh, she actually admits she's wrong. It's like, oh, shit, okay, she has integrity. I already like this woman, right? Captain Rudy says, "By the way, have you heard Neko Kitsune?" I heard of Neko Kitsune. I have not yet. Okay, that was Shondo. There's no way that wasn't Shondo. Is that the same person? Hold on. This is gonna be a lot of me going back and forth. Because I don't think that that's also Aqua. Okay, this is Mocha Rui. And again, that's obviously Shondo. Aliens are real! Oh my god. Shondo! And then here we got... Okay. I'm a little bit at a loss for what specifically is going on here. Are these the Quangos we have to war against? Damn! Power scaling! Power scalers! Power scale that! What an opportune freeze frame for the Filion cameo, right? And there's Cha-Cha. Okay, so those are, and then that's obviously Skew-chan. But yeah, okay, so those alien creatures are the Quangos. Okay, information updated, right? Bodied Ravenstraub. This is Megalodon. Wait, what? Get rotate. Oh my god. It's, and he got the puffer pup fish. Oh my god, yes. But I can't believe they did the shark meme, right? I mean, she is a shark, is she not, right? And then Depths Walker, if I remember correctly. I don't remember who. I remember y'all telling me who the goblin guy is. I don't remember off the top of my head. And I think I've seen the frog character, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know how it is Play Astronomical keeps up with everyone, to be perfectly honest. There's Leaflet. That's a fucking Canadian Quango. I'm still convinced he's a paid actor, but that's my conspiracy. This machine kills fascists. Yep. Quango Leering Center. There's Angry Duck, Holy Ball, and give me one moment. Ohio Birdman. Like that was embarrassing. Pino Tito the Goblin. Fair enough. Spartanbot says that's Bloop and Hyde. Interesting. I totally missed that. Yes, Ohio. That was embarrassing that it even was an issue to like remember, because I put a line from one of his songs in my 20-minute musical screed. Right. That doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if it's from a GPT, if it can reach out and touch you and me. It's from his song Learning How to Prompt, right? And yeah, so it's Angry Duck and Ohio Birdman and like Holy Ball. Okay, who is... Okay, I don't know who these two are. Cardinal is the state bird. Oh! You know what? I actually did not know that. I don't know who these two are. These two, I took one look at his name and like, I have no idea who Elias Malachi is or Chionerin. So I'm gonna have to check them out at some point. The get rotated meme, I mean, yeah, fair enough, right? Wait. Did I mistake Megalodon for Bloop? Like Bloop. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Right? I'm sorry, chat, but I'm racist against fish. The Celestium. Okay, yeah, that has to be a Quango. I had to pause. I was like, there's no fucking way that's a VTuber. There's no fucking way. Bloop was the second one that got, was the one, the second one that got rotated. Okay. There's Smugalana. Ooh, there's Ben. And then there's Powder. I can already tell. I'm not really listening to the, Oh, wait, was he Epstein? Oh my god, yeah, you know what, you're right. He's on the fucking Temple to Moloch. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention to the surrounding environment. I gotta pay more attention to the surrounding environment. You're right. But I haven't really been paying attention to the lyrics yet, but as much as I could hear in the background, I could already tell I'm gonna like this song. You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. just wrecking everything because he doesn't get his way. Yeah, fair enough, right? You, you had one job. Fair enough. There's obviously Mitsuki. May she one day be able to leave Brazil, right? Okay, hold on. There's a Shiver and the Urge. Damn it, Kinnock! But the urge to say Shiver instead of Shiver, even though I know it's Shiver, right, is just very intense. She still hasn't gotten back to me on that song, but anyway. And then Yara, obviously. Quango Beam! And then we got Cleopatra AI, Happy Horrible, Grumpy Whiskers, and Gleeman, Cosmic Dreamers. Fair enough. Quango, oh, yep, there's Kura right there. Quangos go home, right? Let's see. What do we got here? Popcorn Dream Snacks, now showing tickets on sale now. Let's see. I think of it as Shiver Me Timbers, right? Fairfax enough. Oh my god. You gotta make me use all my sip emotes. Oh my god. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to save your emotes, man. There's Dot Pocket. No Orca Zone. Yeah, because the Orcas are the Quangos of the Sealverse. Like Violators will be flipped. Oh my god. Get rotated, dumbass, right? There's the Truth Bomb, and it's a cherry for Kirsha. There's Banana Juju. And then there's Maria Grace VT, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I actually saw their debut stream. I actually think I have a Maria Grace VT clip and as like a short on my channel. I think it's the one where she's talking about where she makes a joke about Jewish conspiracies, which was really cute, right? Because her husband is apparently an ethnic Jew, and so it's like she's you know, anyone who has like ethnic you know, cross ethnic relationships knows that, like, again, you use that kind of stuff as like a way to joke around with each other. So it was just really cute to see that when she made that joke. Hey, Cosmic Dreamers, far enough. I see you tried to get me there. You tried to get me. I think Cleopatra 1 is a VTuber. Yes. Julie Crow. I think Julie Crow or something like that, I think is the name. But yes, I remember that mostly from the Cleopatra AI song, because that song is a wild trip, right? Captain Rudy says, back in my day, we didn't say get flipped. We said sit and spin. LaCroix? Fair enough. Damn it! Boo. Those sip emotes might be expended by the end of this. Oh my god. And that Chad Bear at the back. Is that oh my god, is that the husband? Is that the husband? Two guesses, right? Just looking at this. Two guesses. I'm pretty sure Play Astronomica has made their appearance. Julie Lacroix. Lacroix? Yes. Yes, that's the husband. I actually never got to see the husband avatar. It's fairly cute, right? Captain Rudy's, hold on. Spartanbot says, Skal, lol. And then we got Nianus. I actually saw her talk about, like, the fact that, like, she got replaced because of technology in her job. And how she was like, well, that's just the way of the world, right? Sometimes this shit happens, but you gotta move on with your life. And you know what? She became a VTuber, and she's she's decent, she's successful. So I'm like, was it really that bad of was it really a demotion? Kuro says the husband avatar is a bear gremlin. That's funny. And then you got Sun Wukong. Deja Wukong, my bad. And then you got Lifu and Zen. Hold on. Okay, so I think that's Glacier Wolf down there. That's obviously Runia. spacing on some of these characters. The campfire. Okay, fair enough. Kenok, it is what it is, right? I'm gonna have to check this out. Ked G-san. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've actually seen Ked G-san's avatar. So that's my excuse. Elf Harper. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Oh, I almost did it. Almost did it. You almost got me. Enter 2 credits. Where's the coins? I don't see the coins on here. So unless you got like a human avatar, hold on. Let me check the actual chapter name. View chapter. Oh well, it doesn't. That doesn't help me. Oh, okay, it does. Father Lupus. Okay, that's the one that I. Okay, so little. That was all on me. I was having a difficult time figuring out who everyone was, because it's like a lot of these people I don't really see their avatars, to be perfectly honest. And then this one's General Gravy, who I actually found out about on stream one time. Oh yeah, and then there's Kodiak VT. May this man win in court. That's all I gotta say. May he go full Conan the Barbarian in court to drive them from the land, to hear the lamentations of their women. Right? Catherine says, I said lupus, lol. Fair enough. Spartanbot says lupus and Runya in the booth. Ah, hold on. Okay, yeah. So apparently I made a bit of a... Kodiak is a beast, yes. I think some of his... I've heard him talk about some stuff, and I definitely have severe disagreements on certain issues. But I did actually have a small interaction with him on X, where apparently I came off as like a huge black pillar, where I'm like, I did not black pill. If you think I'm black pilling, I may have just explained myself really poorly, man. But so yeah, my first interaction with this guy was apparently I came off as like a huge black pillar, which was not the intention. Kuro says, may he make the stars burn and the seas boil in court. Precisely. And then Boo Huckley sends a cute little seal. Oh, I have no fucking clue who this is. Fairy Miari. Oh, that's... You know what? I like this avatar design, to be perfectly honest. And then that's Nines. Oh my god, they got her in a fucking pouncing animation. And then there's Eights. Oh, that's cute. Wait, who was that? Who is that? It says Kitsura 9 and 8s, but there's a third person in here. I'm gonna have to go and do the cheat. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Wait, is that just another... Wait, who is this? Does anyone know who this is? Lythria. Lythria. Is Lythria X. Okay. Okay, no, never mind. I can't read, chat. I'm an English major. Okay, well, that's not fair. I would have guessed it was Torse Wolf. I don't know who Orangi is, but, you know, saw it before I got the opportunity to guess. Let's see. And there's obviously Lord Simptelectual and Ember Paradox, right? I'm not gonna drop the Simptelectual joke until he actually joins people in some kind of like a conversation, man. bully him into collabing. I'm kidding, right? Oh my god. But I'm glad him and Ember and like the rest of the people involved in that circle are having fun. They seem like they're having a lot of fun, and you know what? Power to them. She is Nine's friend. Again, every time someone drops like a cameo slop video, I learn more about like what's going on in the non-mainstream part of the community. Dude, their collab last week was hilarious. I have to check this out. I have to look at this now. And then yeah, that's Rosie Doodle. And then yeah, hold on, was that Silvervale? Yeah, this is... I'm pretty sure this is Silvervale. Doobie. And then that's Doki Bird, fair enough. Wait, was that Girl DM? Maybe I haven't seen Girl DM's avatar in a while, because like I think the last time I watched Girl DM was like a year and a half ago, so maybe there was a couple of changes, but that one definitely caught me off guard. And then there's obviously Spite. Hold on. Who is this? Void Zone. Let's see. Construction Sector 4. Danger High Voltage. Another dimensional anchor unit. All right. Who is this? Let's see. Kura says, I have never watched Doki Bird, but I know her model easily low. Doki. That's Ava. Okay, fair enough. Doki Bird is actually a really fun content creator. There's a reason why she was really popular back when she was working for what was it? Color Corp. Fucking Niji Sanji. That's what it was. Let's see. Captain Rudy says they talked about 50 Shades of Grey and why it's despised by the BDSM community. And fucking course, it was a BDSM collab. Oh, of course. Anyway, I actually got to talk to the head of the BDSM community in my local area one time because I was going when I was going to college, because I took a course in human sexuality, and it was an interesting conversation. It was actually they were actually a fairly professional person. It was like, damn, you're not a gooner. Surprising, right? At one point, Lord Intellectual got a little bit too in character and got really forceful with his voice. Not to Ember directly, he was just getting into character, and she was visibly attracted to it. God damn it. I mean, they're having fun as long as they keep it within boundaries, right? So, fair enough. It's not really my business. And then that's wait, that's not Spite. Oh, that's Henya. That's Henya the Genius, because I recognize it because of the little cube in the center. It's like, hold on. I recognize this person. Their name is escaping me. I don't usually see her in this outfit though. So it's like never beating the allegations. Yeah, right. That Intellectual is never beating the allegations, right? And you know what? I don't think Ember's beating the allegations either, to be perfectly honest. Captain Rudy said, Lord Intellectual, master of the safe word, right? Oh my god. As long as he keeps making cringe centrist content as well, I don't really care about the other stuff. Well, there's me. There's ASAT. There's hold on, Blastbox Music AI, and fuck. He did a really good video, but I'm blanking on the name. This is gonna bother the hell out of me. Brewer. That's what it was. Brewer. God damn it. I hate that, like, every time I do a slop video, like, I forget the name of someone I've literally talked to multiple times because there's so many people that I'm learning about at the moment, right? Oh my god. All right, who's the one in the back? That's Eva AI. Okay, so Eva appears twice in here. Let's see. Pay the fare, keep it moving. You know what? I think New York needs to have needs to watch this video because they need to understand this, right? Ace at BB Revu Brewer U. Okay, fair enough. Wait. Okay, yeah. That's a little illegible. Play your part, bride safe. I personally wouldn't ride the train because I don't trust people, right? But I definitely need this map. I don't know why the map is on the floor, to be perfectly honest. I need the map. I am, like, literally the anime protagonist of gets lost even with the map, right? Not protagonist, but, like, the anime side character. Who needs the map and still can't fucking read it. There's actually a really funny story about, like, it wasn't my group, but back in basic training, a group of us ended up getting lost in the woods, and no one fucking knew where to find him. And so I was just like sitting I was sitting waiting in a a concrete oven basically for several hours, waiting for them to get their asses found. And apparently they accidentally walked onto a what was it, like a bomb disposal and detonation range, and did not notice it. But anyway, so funny story about that. Maybe I'll go into that one day, but not right now. So they got into some real fucking trouble for that. Captain says, I got to talk to Brewer when Yuna and Solance did a collab on Keen Stream. He's a cool dude. I actually like the guy. Let's see. Captain Rudy says the anime NPC. So you have zero sense of direction. Oh, you have no idea. I'm gonna have to ask if there's a reason for the glitching on me specifically, right? I like the effect, but I have a sneaking suspicion this was very obviously intentional, and I'm gonna have to ask about that because, like, I'm like, curiouser, right? And I did see Brewer, because they Play Astronomical did actually put this on their X account, and Brewer did mention that he does like to sit on benches and just like think, which, yeah, fair enough, right? Meditate, contemplate. And then that's obviously Delta Wolf and Rivanami. There's Keen and Lady Wasabi. Hold on, what did I say? Oh, well, guess what? I've reacted to both of them now, too, right? Mizu Tamari and Mama Oko were some of the few people that I've actually asked if I could react to their content, and they actually responded, right? Fair enough. So they're actually pretty cool. Like, they're actually pretty good with taking criticism. And in general, I just agreed with them in the videos that I did react to, because I'm going to be honest, I think they're just correct on those. But they're actually really decent people. Don't listen to the haters. One moment. Okay, so I got that resolved. Yeah, but I actually really do like watching Mama Oko and Mizu Tamari talk about stuff, because oftentimes they will talk about things in greater detail with actual receipts, by the way, when they're talking about bullshittery that's actually happening in the scene. And they actually do better journalism in regards to like the shit they talk about than most of the I would trust Mizu Tamari and Mama Oko more than I would, for example, Muujin personally. That's just me. Let's see. Oh god, what did I miss in the chat? Let's see. Kenok says when the story starts with "see what happened." What had happened was, yeah. Kura says Brewer is indeed amazing. Way too kind to his own detriment. I mean, there is that old statement about sometimes the kindest people are the way that they are because they've actually gone through real suffering, right? That's not all people. Some people go through real, genuine suffering, and then they become the worst people you can imagine. But some people definitely, again, choose to be, kinder in response to having experienced, real problems. To each their own, right? It depends on, it really is one of the proofs of, it's not what happened, but, how you respond to what happened. Let's see. Spartanbot says Zoro as in the green-haired swordsman from One Piece, lol. Yep. Let's see. There's another ongoing joke about how Kairo Chikage is a simp for Leaflet. He isn't really, but Feeble made the joke about it, and it took off from there. That's fair. Let's see. Kura says, that's not a high bar, lol. Muujin is basically ground zero for shitty journalism. I stopped watching Muujin all the way back in the Cinder situation. Right? Because I was like, because I thought the Cinder situation was complete, out of proportion anyway. It's like, yeah, that's a shitty thing she did, but like, she shouldn't have her career ruined over this. What the fuck are we doing here, right? And then, you know, Mama Oko actually does real reporting on the situation, and I go from thinking it's kind of absurd that, because she actually brings her receipts, and she gives her, like, actual reasoning, and she's like, no, we haven't seen the whole situation. We've only seen what what has been said. There's a lot of context that's been missing, and everyone is almost certainly slanting the conversation to their own, to their own favor. And then she gave her his assessment, because he's a Babaniku, so he's actually a guy with a female avatar. But and you know, he will admit he's a guy. But anyway, and after that entire thing, I watched their entire analysis of the situation before the new docs dropped, and I was like, you know what? You have actually convinced me. This is real good evidence that some foul shit is afoot, and I'm actually on Cinder's side. And I actually went and I checked out Cinder, because I didn't watch Cinder before that, and I looked up her content, and was like, damn, Cinder is unironically just a better content creator than the people who are fucking trying to destroy her. Like, everything else notwithstanding, if you just gave me their content, Cinder's just a objectively better content creator. And then I am absolutely fucking vindicated when they come back and they drop the actual receipts with all of the chat logs and all of the timestamps, and things are actually in chronological order, unlike the chopped up and, like, again, placed for narrative. You know, instead of like an actual chronology, it's given in narrative order, not like chronological order. In, like, again, Bao, it's Shy Lily's, you know, and the fucking Spite's testimonies, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I am actually fucking vindicated. Right? Use the tools the historian would use in, like, if they had to evaluate the situation. Like, again, the criteria of embarrassment, the criteria of multiple attestation. Right? All the historical tools you use in like textual criticism. Like, yeah, I think Mama Oko fucking called this, right? I watched like 10 hours of, like, them going through the actual, like, documentation with commentary. Like, unlike Mugen, who just, like, skimmed the Cinder document and didn't actually critically assess it, you know, these two actually fucking did critical reading on that. Oh my god, I was so angry about that, right? Oh, I hate cancel culture in the first place, but oh my god. And it's sorry. I get a little bit heated about that. Because I just think that was totally fucking unfair and unjust. Okay. Kura says, Mama Oko is a cool dude. Misa Tamari won me over for saying real shit. Right? I would agree. Captain Rudy said, 10 hours, tell me you're autistic without telling me you're autistic. To be fair, I was working in a warehouse at the time, so I had plenty of time to listen to them actually talk. But you kind of need that kind of autism if you're going to talk about, you know, journalism of any kind, even if it's just, you know, cultural, like, creator journalism. Wait, oh shit. So were the tiny ones also a VTuber? Doesn't seem like it. And then there's Epstein. I like how, so I have mixed feelings about the triangle with the eye in it, because everyone associates it with the Illuminati, right? Most people aren't aware that the triangle with the eye in the center actually began as a Christian symbol, not as an occult symbol. Because the triangle was represented the Trinity, and the eye at the center represented the omniscience of the triune God, right? So just a little bit of a historical note about the history of that symbol. A lot of quote-unquote occult symbols actually don't start as occult symbols. They actually usually have a mundane origin. Like, for example, the pentagram. The circle with the 5-pointed star. It does have, obviously, an occult usage, but it also has a very well attested to historical Christian usage as a representation of the 6 wounds of Christ. You know, the crown of thorns, the nails in the hand, the nails in the feet, and the wound and the spear wound to the heart. So, yeah, you know. Thank you for the follow, Doctor of Insanity. Yeah, so there's my little historical rant. I'm tired of fucking occultists getting to take all of our toys, right? All of our symbols. Okay, hold on. Gwenerverse. I don't know who Gwenerverse is.
Stars keep shining bright.
Oh, yep. And then here's the European family, right? You got Kini, we got Melody, we got Anicia, and then we got Lauer. Is it Lauer? Interesting. Anyway, you got the the little tyke, right?
Burning bright and fast. We are stellar seekers standing in a
Okay, there's pseudo grading. Hold on, you talk about like again cameo slop. I love cameo slop, but my god, man. Yeah, we got the Scottish and the I believe that's is that the Norwegian flag, or is that the Danish flag? I think that's actually the Danish flag. Let me check. In before it's actually the Norwegian flag, and I'm actually a dumbass. Right? Ah. Damn it, I was right. Okay, yeah. I had literally two options. I had a 50-50 chance, and I still fucked it up, right? Yeah, well, you know what? Europe is a fake place anyway, right?
stellar seeker standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter
And then obviously you got Night Owl and Feeble Mind.
across the endless span.
Okay, so we have Avted Fatash, we have Wild Iraqi. I gotta get him to teach me some Kurdish at some point, right? You got Nailith, and then you have Dawn Halo, and I think that's Null, right? That machine right before the dinner scene is Keeney's drill. Fair enough. It's massive. And then, you know, DJ Nathaniel, right?
These are steaming signals as they light the way.
Oh my god. I cannot get his clown form, fair enough. So yeah, guerrilla warfare, no Harambe confused, or guerrilla saboteurs, no bananas in combat. Again, this is not lore. Homework due next class. Fuda expert bridge build. This is so fucking multi-layered. Oh my god, literally the thing he said in the fucking in one of his fucking videos. Build 1,000 bridges. Nobody cares. Suck one gorilla dick, and you're a gorilla dick sucker. Okay, you know, fair enough, right? He's never gonna live down this joke because that joke is actually funny. Kevin really says, I have a funny gen I made of Nihileth that I gotta show you. Fair enough. Spartanbot says, DJ reference to Eminence and Shadow. Yay.
We sync up with gal-
Hold on. Homework due next class. Fuda. I you know what? It would not be that difficult of homework for me.
up with galaxies
And then we got fucking Itami.
in their eternal
No one says cameos anymore. Now it's gulp shitos. Hold on. Invicta to VTube. I haven't seen a lot of Invicta. Like I've seen them pop up, but I haven't seen much of this stuff. Is that one of the Quangos? I don't know if that's like an actual like VTuber as well, but is that one of the Quangos? Play Astronomical went out of his way to make that diss spectacular. Oh yeah, he did.
eyes, the power deep within.
Fuda homework? Oh my god. Right, Canuck? Oh my god. Doing the atomic move, yes.
Waves of brilliance ripple
And then there's Reaving Mango.
through the boundless sky. Lightning flashes
Yes, there's Roboticus Prime.
forward as the cosmos amplify.
Fucking absolutely bodied. Imagine getting like smashed into something so hard you bounce off it like a ball. Are you okay? Yesn't. Right? It's like, oh my god, it's literally that picture of the cat where it looks like one of the kittens is checking up on the other kitten. The Robo Bro, right? And then you got Cairo Chikage. And then obviously that's Feeble Mind, Night Owl, Shiver, Pseudo, and Psychro. And then Keeney, DJ Nathaniel. So is this basically him being dragged back into the community? Yeah, I think this is a reference to him being dragged back into the community and crowned Kaiser Seal, right? Where can we share pictures with you? Twitter, if you know, if you can share it with me on Twitter, or Zitter or X, whatever you want to call them. If anyone has any if anyone has Discord, they can also share pictures with me on Discord. So again, let's see. Oh yeah, Dot Pocket, Silas as well. Yeah, right. Where the mask, right? Just yeah, we're all aware. Seal, God Emperor, Seeable Mind, right? So that's Psychro. Oh yeah, there's Yuna and Silas and Little Man. I love how he was like moved. I don't know if he was moved 2 tiers or almost to tears in the No Fox Given song because of the cameo of Little Man, but that was just so heartwarming. Oh, we got Gaming Sin, Velasco Forge, we got Underworld Fox VTuber, we have Jayla, Griffin Knight, let's see, Mavlook, and hold on. Starts with the T. Fuck, hold on. Taro Dravenox. There we go. Look, man, I love that we all have unique names, but it does make it hard to figure out everyone sometimes. Right? I mean, no offense. It's just, there's so many of us. The naming scheme is kind of haphazard. says the account named A Cosmic Otaku, right? I am aware I am a hypocrite. Right? Draven, no. Okay. Okay, who is this? Counter Intel. I've never seen Counter Intel with the visor on, but also I very, very rarely see his avatar again, actually like in full. And this is Fushizi. Occultus Notitia. Is that an actual character? Or is that like an OC, or is that like a Naruto run with guns, lol, right? Y'all got more chars than Bleach, right? Oh, wait a minute. Jester Greer. And then there's Skybrows himself and Mama Brows. Domain expansion, right? And then we got Vesper, we have Kitsuragi, and we have X Count. Please don't let the cat out no matter what you do. Fair enough. I haven't seen any. She was in the last Skybrows video that wasn't the X-Men one. Which, I should have done a reaction to the X-Men one. But yeah, Bleach can. They can bleach my. Yeah, I'm not reading that. Gojo Brows. Let's see. Nanners? Is that Nanners? Hold on. Oh, Ririgaki. Oh my god. Ririgaki is very cute. The only problem is she's French. The only problem is she is French, but she is very cute. I have an affinity for rat girls. Brat. And then you have Maya and Raida Zero. Oh, that's really cute. Raida Zero's reaching out to Maya. Give me Banhammer. I would never have guessed this one. But yes, I definitely see this one on X more than any other. I actually didn't know they were making content, to be perfectly honest. Captain Rudy says, I thought that was Ori VT. No, no, just Riri. Obviously, Nux Taku. By the way, I don't know how, but I gotta somehow figure out a way to get Nux to react to that Islam song, right? Fucking, I have a sneaking suspicion he would find fucking bolical. Ori is another rat girl. Ooh, I have another person to check out because rat girls tend to be very cute. And then obviously Nasty Holy Goddess and Trucker Man. And then we have... Hold on. Because I actually haven't seen her name in chat in a very long time. Is it like Muna or something like that? Because whenever I see her in Discord, it's under the fucking shitpost name. It's under the name of like Childless Cat Lady. Hold on. I have to cheat for this one. Well, that's definitely not Lusty Links. 440. Muru Mao. Okay. Muru Mao. Okay. Okay, now I had to. I was gonna have to cheat for that one. No, I'm crashing. Oh my god, I'm crashing. Ah, why must you do this to me? Oh my god, my Brave is crashing on me already. Okay, there we go. This is like right at the end. It just crashes on me. It's like you cut it. Anyway, but yeah, I remember her describing moon gooning to us, and then it was on her live stream, and I'm like, are we really listening to someone describe moon gooning to us? And I didn't realize until like after the fact that we were actually on stream. It was like, oh, fuck, fair enough. There's Lusty Links. And then we have, obviously, Penny Bloomfield. We have Moomy. We have Eustace the Useful, and that is a dangerous shortcut for Cinevere. Holy crap. This shot is absolutely necessary. I will hear no counter-argument, because the counter-argument can only come from Quangos. Nice shot, by the way. And then this is Amalmaga. My ability to speak English is like destroyed. Amalgamite. There we go. Fuck. Dong P Bong Water. You know what? That was the part 2. Never before have I needed something before having received it. A cosmic calling someone a cunt. I actually do it quite often. It kind of depends. I try to save that word for people who deserve it. The saga continues, maybe. Special thanks to Sky Bros, Reactors, Caffeine, and God. Yes. Not yet. Wait, is not yet an actual channel? So yeah, I mean, talk about cameo, the quote-unquote cameo slop, right? Did you see Alicia X Life? Wait, Alicia X Life? Wait, what? Alicia X Life was in there? Wait, where was that? Wait, what? I didn't see her in there at all. Wait. Well, I guess we're gonna check in the second pass. I didn't see her in there at all, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Not in the vid, but in general. Oh yes, no, I know who Alicia X Life and Death are. I personally would not do the kind of reactions she does. Not that what she's doing is anything bad, but I have a sneaking suspicion that if I did this, did the stuff she did, I would get hit with a fucking banhammer. Not because of any thing that's being done wrong, but because I have a sneaking suspicion a malevolent copyright holder might be a little bit trigger happy, because I actually tried to do a reaction to my adventures with Superman a while ago, right? I did it. I actually did a recording of a reaction with that, and actually, you know what? I might be able to put that on Rumble. But anyway, with Dr. Joko, right? He now goes by Joko the Kitsune, by the way, and he enjoyed the series, and I wasn't gonna say that he was wrong for enjoying the series. I couldn't fucking stand My Adventures with Superman. Partly, and it made it worse because I actually really like the design for Lois Lane. Not gonna call her Lois Lane, because she's not Lois Lane by design. Not at all. She looks more like Luz Noceda from fucking Owl House. And I'm like, look, Lois Lane, fine, fair enough. Waifu material, except for the part where she jumps off the building, right? You know, crazy bitches and whatnot, right? But character design-wise, absolute wife. Absolutely would wife. Just saying. Just by character design alone. And then it turned out she was fucking Korean, and I'm like, It never fails. Never fails. Every time I go wife and it's a cartoon character where you can't tell ethnicity, somehow they turn out to be Asian. I'm like, I just have I have the sixth sense. I can detect an Asian cartoon character from a distance of 20 goats, right? But anyway, so I did a whole fucking video commentary on that, and YouTube immediately struck it down. Never got to air, and I'm like, you bastard program, right? And I hated that I hated that show so much. I did not finish it because I was like, I had so many problems with it. It's like, fundamentally speaking, this show does not understand DC like on a foundational level. It has the appearances of DC, but none of the essential core. And oh my god, sorry. It would be. I have a thinking. I would genuinely have fun doing react content to, like, again, anime, manga, and like TV series like that. It would be fun. I don't trust the copyright holders, to be perfectly honest, to not fuck with me. So, I mean, Alicia X Death seems to have found a way around it. Maybe one day I'll ask someone about how exactly they get away with this, because I'm genuinely, like, I would actually like to do that, because it sounds fun, right? But it's kind of the reason why I haven't reacted to, for example, The Amazing Digital Circus, right? I don't necessarily think it is the wisest move to react to The Amazing Digital Circus as someone who's a big AI supporter, right? Because, again, the copyright holder might not have a bit of an issue with, let's say, X, Y, or Z VTuber doing that. But then they find out, and one of the VTubers happens to, be a pro AI person. I might get struck with something. I'm just saying, right? So it's a bit of a prudential decision on my part. I would love to be able to do some of the stuff Alicia does, because I'd have a lot. I turned a 5-minute video into a 2-hour commentary, right? Imagine what I can do with a whole 30-minute episode. Oh my god. No, sorry. A little bit of a tangent. I actually do like Alicia, and I am aware of her story as well. And I'm like, what Cat Caliente did to Alicia is absolutely fucking unacceptable. But, so I got nothing against her. She seems like a genuinely authentic person. I do find it funny how she sometimes trolls the people she collabs with, right? Anyway, so let me catch up with the chat for a moment, and then we'll go a second pass paying more attention to the lyrics. Captain Rudy says there's another ongoing joke with Lusty Lynx about how she's small little kitty cat. Then I call her the leader of the itty bitty kitty committee. It resulted in her boyfriend adding a gin I made of her as the chairwoman of the itty bitty kitty committee into her most recent music video, which means my joke is now canon in the Lusty Lynx lore. Absolutely based, man. Right? Kura says, I mean, we watched all of Blazing Saddles last night on Keen's Rumble stream, lol. Nope. Maybe I can actually start doing that content. Just put it on Rumble. All right, I'll have to check in with that, though. That's all because Asian women are superior. I'm not going to say that per se, but I definitely have a affinity towards Neotna's physical and behavioral traits. And those are more common, but not exclusive to Asian women. On the occasion that I am attracted to a white woman or a black woman, they are usually highly neotenous in physical features, right? So I'm just saying, I have a type of characteristic that I happen to be attracted to that is disproportionately represented among Asians, but is still represented among blacks and whites as well, right? And among Hispanics as well. Kura says, where are all the white women at? Kionella says, I never likes any version of Lois Lane. Fair enough. Again, fair enough. Sometimes the character just doesn't jive with people. Kenok says the fandom, though. Yeah. Bookly says manga. Oh, did I say manga? Manga, right? Sorry, my throat is bothering me, right? There's something in the air. Not to mention my nose is bothering me as well. Let's see. Kenok says, only the first run through this video, by the way, right? Kionala says, I love rants. Fair. Captain Rudy says, should I make a cosmic otaku heavy metal sea shanty? If you want to, you can. My lore is on my channel, right? Kionella says overlay, right? She gets away with it with overlay on YouTube. Ah, okay. Hold on. I'm going to have to check this out, because if that's the case, then I can expand my operations into devious areas, right? Kionala says, God, 30 minutes, 1 day stream, right? Right? I literally would become every frame of pause. A one man every frame of pause, right? All right. Let's turn the subtitles on. And thankfully, I have some tea with me. Actually, that's Gatorade. My bad. And let us continue.
Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. Fusion hearts are burning, never gonna pale.
Why does it not read these lines in this? Like, I heard the lines, but it's like, I'm not entirely sure why it doesn't read the lines there. Like, this baffles my mind, because you would imagine that, like, Google, having access to all of this fucking, like, video information, would be able to make an AI that could actually, like, read, you know, like, understand spoken words. I still don't know who that specifically is. And this is just a really cute fucking, like, again, really cute fucking pose. Oh, and by the way, if you ever wonder why people like, again, if you ever wonder why some people like Lolly, I've talked about this before in the Chibi Reviews commentary. It is just neoteny. That's literally all it is. It is a attraction to youthful features in adult women. Like, if you want to wonder why Rebecca was so popular, that was one of the reasons why. If you want to wonder why, again, the concept, you know, the, like, what is it, that one anime with My Tiny Senpai, right? If you want to wonder why that was so popular, it's because it turns out women like gerontomorphic men. Men tend to like neotenous women. It is an evolutionary fact. I could literally break out, you know, human bones from, you know, the ancient times and show how literally every human being today is neotenized from their ancestors. So it is just a general evolutionary trend.
Pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil.
So yeah, stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. I mean, stars could have like two different meanings. Genetically predisposed to protect. Right? Yes. Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. Yeah, stars here can represent, like, obviously the image of a star, but also, like, again, the personality of a person. You know, stars in this case being the VTubers.
Fusion hearts are burning, never gonna pay.
So fusion hearts are burning, never gonna fail. So fusion obviously is when two things that are unrelated come together and create something new, right? Like you take two atoms, they have different atomic nuclei, you smash them together, it creates a new atomic nuclei, right? And to be fair, most VTuber designs are themselves some kind of fusion between different elements to create a new composite whole, right? So fusion hearts are burning, and actually this also is a good thing with kayfabe too, because kayfabe is itself a bit of a fusion. It's that liminal space between fiction and reality, like in professional wrestling, right? They're not entirely distinct, but they're also not the same thing. The story being told is affected by the real life circumstances, and the real life circumstances affect the storytelling being told. And it's that interesting liminal space that VTubers exist in as well. Captain D says, "What shall I call your space pirate ship?" God damn it. The high. That's a good question. That's a good question. Because I personally have the same opinion on, for example, piracy as unique Namosaurus. So I'll get back to you on that one, Rudy.
When the cosmos signals stay locked and steady, I'll chase the fire through the endless tide.
So when the cosmos signals, let's see, I'll stay locked and steady. Wait, what?
When the cosmos signals stay locked and steady.
Okay, so I was right. This thing is wrong. It actually even inverted the words. Okay. So when the cosmos signals, I stay locked and steady.
I'll chase the endless tide.
I'll chase the fires through the endless tide. So this right here is an example of a paradox, right? Where you take two things that are allegedly mutually exclusive and you hold them together in a coherent whole. In this case, again, the use of fire, which is associated with dry and heat, and tide, which is associated with wet and cool, right? But we're using this in cosmic imagery, so the two are not mutually exclusive. God damn it, Kura. He says a cosmic spaceship would be named the Goblin Rider. Fucking hell, mate. Well, I mean, again, it's like I happen to be more attracted to Asians than any other group because they're highly neotenous. What are some neotenous traits? You know, short stature, right? Short stature, distinct proportion between head and body size, right? Again, what are some consistent traits with goblin girls? Just, again, take that idea of neotenous traits and ask how neotenous are goblins, and then you will find that, like, a lot of these goblin girls that you find drawn as characters, they're very neotenous. So it gets the little thing in my brain ticking, right? Asian rat girls, goblin, again, rat girls, again, usually very neotenous. Oh my god, don't even get me started on Hackos Bales. I don't know what it is, but that rat, when she dances, those hips got me acting unwise, right? Captain Rudy says, to be fair, all of the sea shanties I've made have been about anti-hero pirates. Mavluck is the Dodo Slayer. Windrose reference, Keen trolls, Quangos. I only target those who are corrupt, etc. Oh god. Oh god, oh god. Oh god, as long as you don't put that Fuda comment in there, I guess, right? Like, nah, the goblins would be riding him. God damn it. God damn it, they even beat me to it. Anyway. So
We chase the light before it fades away.
So we chase the light before it fades away. Because again, like that, the opportunity, right, is not going to be there forever. Opportunities come, they go. You have to seize the opportunities before they pass away, because once they're gone, you don't exactly get them again.
Even after redshift, their brilliance will remain.
Even through the redshift, their brilliance will remain. I actually really like that line. It's leveraging the fact of like a cosmological. It levers the expansion of the universe, like the basic cosmological principle of that. Again, galaxies that are further away as the universe expands, the light. So the wavelength of the light has had more time to redshift because red is closer to the longer wavelengths, right? Closer to a radio wave than, for example, the blue spectrum, which would be closer to gamma rays, because the blue light, the purple light, it has a shorter wavelength, a higher frequency, as opposed to, again, red. That's why we call the spectrum beyond red the infra, or below red, right? Because it has a lower wavelength, a lower frequency. And then we call the spectrum beyond violet the ultraviolet, because it has a higher, a beyond, a greater than frequency and wave, frequency. So yeah, I like that. Even red shifted, their brilliance will remain. That's an interesting line. Did he mean to say well, or did he do wall on purpose? Photons crash right through the I guess if it's crashed through, it would be the wall. So photons, light crashes right through the gravity wall. Gravity is associated with holding something down to the ground. It can be associated with both stability, but also an oppressive force, especially in the case of like a gravity well, which pulls everything into its tide, right? Should I call his ship the Sugar Daddy? Oh, God. Well, I can't stop you from doing that, but I'm not entirely sure that would be in character. Right?
Light will conquer darkness, standing proud and tall.
So that light will conquer darkness, standing proud and tall. So, okay, so yeah, this does make sense because we're leveraging this material, this into a cosmic view, a concretization of, like, again, what sounds like it may be some kind of like view of history and the man's place in the cosmos, right? Light will conquer darkness, standing proud and tall. Now, that intrinsically makes sense because, again, light is actually a thing, whereas darkness is not, right? So, darkness is simply the absence of something, a privatio boni, a deprivation of a good or a deprivation of being. It's the same thing with cold, where it's like a deprivation of heat. Heat is the reality, cold is the absence of heat. And, evil is the same thing. Evil is the absence of goodness, and goodness itself is the thing that is true and real. So, yeah, light will conquer darkness, standing proud and tall. Because only one of these actually is substantial.
We are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast.
That line actually does get my intertextuality brain churning, because again, the whole cosmic dreamer line in Skyop definitely comes to mind, right? I don't know which one came out. I'm pretty sure this one came out before Skyop, because I've been sitting on this song for a bit. Yeah. So we are cosmic dreamers in a universe so vast, I believe was the line. Let's see.
So the universe is vast.
Oh, so the universe is vast.
But the stars keep shining brighter everlast.
But, oh, I actually like that rhyme. But the stars keep shining brighter everlast, right? So, everlast is obviously a riff on everlasting, like that which never dies, right? For eternity, in time, right? Well, it's the closest thing in time can get to eternity, right? Yeah, I mean, this just goes back to the whole idea that the light will conquer the dark, right? We are cosmic dreamers. So the universe is vast, but the stars keep shining brighter everlast. Again, it's like the universe is vast. Beyond, there's more in heaven and earth than are dreamed of in your philosophies, Horatio, right? To use a older intertextual reference. But yeah. Ultimately speaking, in modern cosmology, there's the idea that darkness and unbeing eventually prevail, right? That's it's an old Sunyata type metaphysic of emptiness ultimately prevails in the end, whereas I'm pretty sure here we're working under the opposite assumption, especially since they mentioned God at the end of it, right? Because the theistic framework is that in actuality, unbecoming does not actually win. In the end, it's actually being that wins. That becoming eventually has a summit in being overflowing. Which is where, again, stars keep shining brighter everlast. Instead of going dim and dying out, the stars actually become brighter and brighter, and they never stop. Maybe I'm overthinking it, right? Hold on. Kura says, and I don't mean vehicle type. God damn it. Oh, damn it. Hold on. I missed a segment. Captain Rudy says, I'll let ChatGPT decide. That's entirely fair. Kura says goblin motorboat, and I don't mean vehicle type. Well, if I had a goblin wife, I'm not saying that wouldn't be something that would happen, but I'm also not going into detail about it, right? Captain Rudy says, I used Ava's Kinify prompt from a few weeks ago, and it called yours ship the Gatai dramas. God damn it. It also inexplicably gave you a black cat. I am partial to cats. I like cats. I do prefer them over dogs, but I do like dogs too, right? So we are stellar seekers, literally seeking out the stars, right? Standing in a world so grand, which harkens back to the size of the universe we mentioned earlier. Void floofs, fuck the world. God damn it. I sent the image into your Discord DM. I'll get back to you on that later, okay? So stars keep shining brighter, lighting up the land. Again, this goes back to the light shall overcome the darkness. So supernovas is interesting, because the supernova is actually the death of the source of light, right? Supernovas bursting with their radiant display. Quasars. Hold on. Actually, I really like that lyric. Hold on. Quasars beaming signals as they guide the way.
Quasars beaming signals as they guide the way.
I like that line. Quasars beaming signals as they guide the way. That one put a genuine smile on my face. I'm not gonna lie. Quasars are a particularly dangerous star because, again, they have a massive magnetic field, enough to like rip atoms apart if you get too close to them. But they also have this property of like shooting high intensity beams of radiation out of both their poles, and they rotate very fast. So you can actually measure the rotation speed of a quasar based off of its the signal pulsing, which is again very fast because quasars aren't very large. But you can use a quasar for a number of things, right? Because they are so steady in their rotation, and because again, like it's actually not that hard to determine how far away a quasar is when you understand. Because quasars are, again, there's actually a lot in common between each individual quasar. You can actually use them as, like, again, stellar, like, landmarks for a Type 2 and 3 civilization.
Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil.
Stars are pulsing faster through the cosmic veil. That would definitely relate to the quasar, because those are the ones that pulse.
Fusion cores are raging.
And you know what? The fusion heart earlier actually ties in to this because, again, the stars, right? The heart of a star is fusion, taking lighter elements and compressing them into heavier elements until you hit iron, and then it can't do any more fusion because iron is really good at absorbing heat. And then as a result, because it absorbs too much heat, the iron ends up causing the outward pressure to not be as strong, and so the star collapses in on itself. But anyway, so yeah, the fusion heart definitely works because if these are the stars, right? If the VTubers themselves are the stars, then yes, they would have a fusion heart, fusion cores, raging.
They will never fail.
Hold on, I want to go back and make sure I had that correct. Yeah, fusion cores are raging. Okay, so I did have that correct.
They will never fail.
Again, this goes back to the whole thing. This is a rejection of the nihilistic eschatology, right? They will never fail. The heart of the star, right? The heart of in this case, again, the star is like a human soul. Never dies, never fails. This is an anti-annihilationist worldview. Boo Huckley says, render under quasar, right? Let's see. Captain Rudy says, I see. I took the symbols on your character's dress and assumed it was Japanese letters, so it thinks your dress says Gatai Dramas. Yeah, nah, the letters on my dress were invented by me, so you're not going to find any computer that actually understands how to read them. If you want to know what they actually say Moltak, and it's a sounding out of a Cantonese word, as best as the Ray language in a project that I was working on could get, because it doesn't have tones, so it was like the closest you could write it. Moltak is the approximation of the Cantonese word for prototype, because this is the character I'm using right now. The design is a prototype design. But people seem to really like the letters on the dress, so I'm probably just going to keep the letters on the dress. Even if I, at some point, come up with something else, I might just change up the words on the dress, but I'm going to keep the characters on the dress as like a motif.
I could never turn my eyes from glory, purely standing in the wonder of a cosmos built securely. Watch the constellations paint a masterpiece to see.
That was a run-on sentence. Hold on. So
Could never turn my eyes from glory, purely standing.
So I could never turn my eyes from glory. And right here, we have... It's about as subtle as a hammer to the face. But, to be fair, subtlety is often used by cowards, right? Stand on business. Be direct. I hate my fucking avatar right now, because it keeps loading and unloading. Anyway, so... I could never turn my eyes from glory, and he's reaching out. And the star motif is actually useful in a Christian worldview because, and this isn't something a lot of people talk about because it's one of the most scandalous teachings of the Christian faith, but the Christian faith, historically speaking, and this is even in most Protestant denominations until relatively recently, when, let's be fair, people forgot how to read. I'm taking a shot at everyone here. the essential mystery of the Christian faith, right? The thing that actually makes the Christian faith different from other religions is actually quite simple, is that God becomes man so that he could make men into gods. This is a teaching that a lot of people get really confused about, right? But, you know, again, the New Testament talks about, again, that man was made to participate in the divine nature. You know, in the Psalms, there's a section where Yahweh speaks to the Hebrews, and he asks, are you not gods? Right? And again, Jesus himself quotes that exact line, does it not say in your scriptures, ye are not, are you not gods? Psalm says, ye are gods. Actually, my bad, I got that line wrong. But Jesus himself quotes that scripture. Does it not say in your scriptures, ye are gods? And then he goes on to point out that the claim that Jesus is calling him is committing blasphemy because, you know, he says he is the Son of God. And, you know, it is absolutely patently ridiculous because they should expect this because he had been prophesied since Moses, right? So, and that he had met Moses. So it's like, yeah, the central mystery of Christianity is that unlike the pagan view of apotheosis, where we become substantially identical with the gods because we are ourselves spirits and the gods are just spirits, is actually not the case. Like the Christian tradition does not teach apotheosis. It also does not teach henosis, which is the Neoplatonic idea where the goal of man in his life is to become one with the one. So the one is an apophatic God, right? It is a God who you can't really understand what he is. You can only understand him through what he is not. This is also why I don't like apophatic Christian theology either, because it is just a spook, to be perfectly honest, but I digress. I can go into that in a later time. But since you can't understand what God actually is, you can only understand what God is not. And the goal of henosis is substantial unity with the one, i.e. God. And in order to do this, it involves the complete dissolution of the self, right? The self must dissolve from being part of this individuated reality into source reality. And if anyone might think that this sounds like a cosmic suicide mission, that's because it is. In henosis, becoming one with the one means that in a real sense, you cease to exist, which is not a very good state of affairs either. Theosis is the Christian teaching, which is the idea that man becomes God by God fully indwelling in him, right? So man does not become uncreated because, let's be fair, God is the only uncreated reality. But rather what happens is God himself, through an infusion of his nature, makes men to share his nature by participation, not by their essential nature, right? So the essence of man remains intact, but is elevated to participate in divine life by God infusing man with one of his capacities, right? In the Thomistic tradition, which I think is the most rational one, it's because God infuses man in his very soul with uncreated grace, right? And in the case of the Eastern Orthodox tradition, it's because, which there's a slight differentiation here too, because like under in the Eastern Orthodox tradition, man will never see the face of God, the essence of God. In the Thomistic tradition, through this infusion of uncreated grace, man gets to see God himself in his very essence, right? So there's a distinction there. But under the Eastern Orthodox Palamist tradition, the idea is that God makes man into gods by infusing man with his energia, his energies. Now, what an energy is, classically speaking, is just an operation. So the Eastern Orthodox has a distinction between the divine essence, what God is, and the divine operations, or the divine energies, what God does, right? So, and these operations are themselves uncreated, but not God, and there's a lot of like argumentation about what exactly that means. I side with the Thomists on this particular issue. I think that the essence-energy distinction is a mystification. I digress. But under the Eastern Orthodox tradition, man becomes God becomes man and makes men into gods by infusing man with the divine energies, right? The divine operations. And even in the Protestant tradition, you had people like Andrew Lords of the Anglican tradition talk about how God will make men into gods through illumination, right? And even C.S. Lewis talks about exactly this, right? I'll pull up a thing at the end of this video. But the star imagery is actually really useful here because theosis is the core of the Christian hope, right? Not a lot of people get taught this, but the core of the Christian tradition, what makes Christianity distinct is that in the Christian tradition, it is understood that an uncreated God becomes man so that he could make creatures to share in his nature. So, anyway, let us continue. So, I could never turn my eyes from the glory. So, son of a bitch, I hit the wrong button. Okay, tap, 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 right? Let's see. Standing in the wonder of a cosmos built so secure, surely. So, again, this is an allusion to, again, another Bible verse. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hand, right? Let's see. Oh, God. Captain Rudy says, I understand that you came up with the letters. What I'm saying is how ChatGPT interpreted your letters. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. It literally tried to decode your address and then used that for the ship's name. That, I mean, understandable, right? It has nothing to work with. So, watch the constellations. Watch the constellations paint a masterpiece to see. Again, the whole idea of like there's an intrinsic beauty in the work of God, right? So, right there, in a sense that like creation itself is a work of divine art, right? Watch the constellations build a masterpiece to see. Burning through the ages with a blazing majesty. Again, this is a lot of light in like heat and like, again, divinity like associations, because again we have that whole we have a verse in the book of Deuteronomy, the Lord thy God is a consuming fire.
Power fused together, rising from the core.
So power fused together, rising from the core. So yeah, again, power fused together. So it's like a I mean, rising from the core, obviously, because like if you have the fusion heart, like a star, then like the power itself would radiate from the heart. So power fused together, rising from the core, would be like the, I guess, like the metabolization of capacity itself into new capacity.
Mysteries unfolding in the nuclear roar.
Okay, that was a nice line. It said war, but the line is actually roar. Mysteries unfolding in the nuclear roar. Okay. So, again, where the fusion is definitely heavily associated with the content of the heart in this thing, right? Because we already talked about like fusion hearts in the very beginning. So, mysteries, those which escape direct rational explanation. Not necessarily explanation, but like it's not about rationalization, because you can also have a rational tradition which is also mystical. Thomism is a good example of that. It has a mystagogy, and it's like the most rational theological position you could actually find. But so like mysteries unfolding through the nuclear roar, it's things that like, even if you can describe them through like logic and describe them through philosophy, it's not fully encapsulable unless you experience, right? And then the nuclear roar is like, again, bursting out. It is like unable to be contained. It's like almost like a nuclear explosion or a lion roaring to make themselves known, right? It's in a sense like a signal, an expression of raw, like of raw energetic capacity.
We are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast, but the star keeps shining brighter ever last.
oh, we are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast. So it's like, again, so the fact that we are dreamers actually adds more to the universe. And this is actually kind of important because, yes, we are, in a sense, co-creators of the world around us, right? There are things that simply do not exist until we decide to make those things, right? So there are things that exist as brute facts, right? Things that just exist because they do. And then the real, as I've said in my own song, the real is raw material, right? So we can actually recreate certain aspects of reality into our own image, which is the image of God, by the way, right? And this is actually the classical interpretation of how man is to relate to nature, right? Is that man is to become master of nature, and that nature exists for the purpose of man. So we are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast. Even if we can't necessarily like create matter from scratch, right? What we can do is we can turn, for example, deserts into cities. We can, for example, make skylines that had never existed before. There's all kinds of things we can do. We can make colonies on the moon. Every person is, in a sense, a phenomenological center of a universe, right? So again, there is a space of dreams that we can navigate. There's fiction and like art we can create, right? It's not just about creating things in the material world. We can also concretize our dreams into material reality. For example, creating animation, by creating, again, not like books, by doing all kinds of things. So we are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast. In fact, the universe becomes even more vast because of the creative potential of man. Or at least that's how I get this.
We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter, lighting up the land. Worlds are dancing round 1,000 burning suns.
Worlds are dancing around 1,000 burning suns. Yeah, I mean, that's just a state of like a cosmological fact, right? It's like, again, we know of plenty of like exosolar bodies, right? Plenty of like planets that are mostly super Jupiters and super Earths because of the way that they interact with their either the orbit of the star, you know, getting the star to wobble, or the way that they interact with the light of the star when they pass between us and the star. But those are only specific case studies. If the, for example, planetary disk is oriented differently so they never pass between us, there are countless undiscovered worlds that we might never necessarily know of, or, you know, in any kind of recent sense. So, and in my opinion, it is our responsibility to reach out to these worlds and to terraform them and to make them into the image of man. I want to see cathedrals on Alpha Centauri, and, you know, it wouldn't be all that unlikely within a few tens of thousands of years to effectively have colonies all throughout the Milky Way, and within tens of thousands of years, we could very well be extending colonies into intergalactic space, heading off to try to set up colonies in places like Andromeda and across the local group, right? So, shining bright, detected in lyrics, AI at least assisted in writing. I mean, I don't really, I mean, I would put shining bright in some songs, right? So, but then again, the AI is also trained off of human work, so, right? Hello, Kevin Eric Snell. How you doing? Let's see.
Hearts are beating steady as the journey runs.
So hearts are beating steady as the journey runs. Like, yeah, there's a certain level of calmness to this, right? That's what happens when your like heart is beating steady. Is like you're showing some degree of either self-control, or you're showing that like you are not unexcited, but like that you are in a state of what would be a good. Trying to think about like how you would describe this. I'm not a phenomenologist, so it does kind of escape me. It's like when I see an M dash. Well, buddy, I hate to tell you this, but me and Kirsha both use the M dash. Now you see like 6 M dashes in one piece. Like there's only a few paragraphs. That motherfucker is using AI, but I actually use M dashes as well because I'm an English major.
I wanna reach them through the endless dark
Okay, so let's go here. I want to reach them through the endless dark. Okay. So, like, the vast, again, like, in an incomprehensible expanse of space where we can't really see the edge of the universe. We only see the edge of our particular world line, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. But the distance calls me back from where they spark. So, from where they spark is probably a reference to, like, the home base, return home, right? So there's like two different impulses: reach out, go forth and conquer, right? Subdue the land and make multiply human life, and also return to that place that's already established. So that because it's easier to live, there, right? So wonder burns inside me like a guiding mark. So again, it's like that. There's that indelible mark in the soul that drives man to seek out. Yeah, it's like you're looking for the sublime. You're looking for something that places you in context of the world around you and like its natural state and its art of So I'm guessing this is an allusion to the sublime. Gravity can't stop this everlasting arc. Wait, why is it saying bending? Okay, again, the AI actually got that wrong too. So it's gravity can't stop this everlasting arc. That's an interesting line. Because the arc, there's two kinds of arcs, right? There is a negative curvature and there is a positive curvature. And topology in cosmology is actually a really important field because there are different predictions of the eschatology of the universe depending on whether the universe is negatively curved, positively curved, or whether it's flat. Now, what we mean by this is just like if you have two straight lines in parallel with each other, think about like on a sphere. If you put like two parallel lines on a sphere, they will eventually meet each other at the opposite ends, right? Just think about like pole points, right? And that would be like a positive curvature surface. So in a case with like the universe is positively curved, it's very likely that eventually gravity will pull the entire thing back in on itself, and uncreation happens because of the universe collapsing in on itself. The inverse of this is if you have, for example, think of like a horse's saddle, right? Where you can have two parallel lines, but because of the curvature of the saddle, the lines can be expected to actually, even though they're parallel, can actually be expected to deviate away from each other, eventually towards infinity. And if that is the case, then we can expect the expansion of the universe will never cease, right? It will continue on and on and on forever, potentially exponentially in speed. In the case of like a flat universe, you would expect that if you have two parallel lines, that they will never curve away from each other and they will never curve to meet each other. Think about, again, like a flat sheet of paper. You have like two parallel lines on there, and they will remain what you would most logically think of as parallel basically till the end of time. And yeah, so gravity can never end this everlasting arc is again, an anti-unbecoming idea.
We are cosmic dreamers, oh, the universe is vast. Stars keep shining brighter, burning bright and fast.
Again, stars keep shining brighter, burning bright and fast. Again, the stars get brighter, they burning, again, it's said earlier, the dark will not win, light will overcome the dark. The stars will never cease in shining, right, everlasting. And as we continue, the stars keep shining brighter, which I alluded to earlier, I literally pointed this out earlier, burning bright and fast. So the heat, the light, the brightness picks up.
We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter across the endless span.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display.
Quasars beaming signals as they light the way. We sync our pulse with galaxies in their eternal spin.
Hold on. That's actually interesting. So the funny thing about the quasars thing is I pointed out that like you can actually like you could actually explain something or detect something. Did he just turn into Periot Le Faux from Cowboy Bebop? Possibly, right? Hold on. Let me,
Standing in a world so grand, stars keep shining brighter.
I mean, possibly.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display.
Quasars beaming signals as they light the way. We sync our pulse with galaxies.
We seek our pulse with galaxies. Hold on. Let me...
They light the way. We sync our pulse with galaxies in their eternal spin.
So we seek our pulse with galaxies. Again, the AI captions are wrong here. Noted the mad parrot in the first run. Oh, fair enough. We seek our pulse with galaxies in their eternal spin. Again, we're talking about like we don't Play Astronomica almost certainly doesn't believe that the universe will come to an end in a heat death or a big crunch or a big rip, right? So that does make sense. The idea that like again the galaxies will continue to spin forever and ever.
We sync our pulse with galaxies in their eternal spin.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because, funny enough, there was a time when it was believed that the galaxy was all that was in the universe, right? And in fact, the original term for the universe as being composed of multiple galaxies was actually a metagalaxy. So just a fun little historical astronomy fact there. And there will come a time that if the physical cosmology theory for the heat death of the universe is actually true, there will come a time where the other galaxies move so far away from the Milky Way, they redshift so far from us that it will be they will become undetectable by visible light. They will have moved beyond our visible light horizon. And so anyone born in that time period, again, assuming physical cosmology is actually accurate in predicting the future, and spoiler alert, I don't think anyone really knows enough to predict the future. If that is the case, though, then anyone born in those time periods will actually have reasonable justification to think that all the universe has ever been is just one galaxy. So... actually, that might make an interesting science fiction story, is the idea that, like, again, human beings actually colonize the local group, but over time, again, as the galaxies have moved away, we're at a time period where there are no more, none of the galaxies are seeable, so the idea of, like, galaxies outside the Milky Way or outside of Andromeda are just completely, like, mythological. Like, yeah, those are just fables told by fools kind of deal, right? When it's like, actually, that's true. That statement is actually true. There are other galaxies. Man did come from another galaxy that they can no longer see. That actually is an interesting... I might have to write that.
Multiply the power deep within. Waves of brilliance ripple through the boundless sky.
Sorry, I like to look at the lyrics. I know it can be probably a little annoying. So...
in their eternal spin, momentum multiplies the power deep within.
So momentum multiplied the power deep within. So this is also, by the way, it sounds like a violation of the conservation of either linear or angular momentum, which again, in a Christian context does make sense because, again, the Christian worldview does believe in an entropic reality that actually undergirds entropic reality. So...
Waves of brilliance ripple through the boundless sky.
So waves of brilliance ripple through the boundless sky. Again, we did talk about light, and light is a wave, right? But also unseen influences as well, like gravitational waves.
Lightning flashes forward as the cosmos amplifies.
Lightning flashes forward as the cosmos amplifies. And again, I did mention, like, because the whole Cosmic Dreamers, so the universe is vast kind of deal, right? It's like the fact that we have Cosmic Dreamers actually makes the universe bigger than it would have been without them. Yeah, I think that this ties into that.
Body's charging stronger with the stellar heart.
Body's charging stronger with the stellar heart. Of course, this is the scene for that scene, right? It's said that Andromeda and the Milky Way will collide and fuse. Yeah, in what was it? It's in like I think it's like 2 billion years or something like that. So we got a little bit of time, right?
We
We elevate the glory that will never say goodbye. Ah, and you know what? I think all of these folk are also religious too. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so that would make sense, right? This is the unrealized potential everyone gets to land and see in. We elevate the glory that will never say goodbye. Yeah, again, religious context, I'm pretty sure what that means. I'm pretty sure we all know what that means.
We are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast. Stars keep shining brighter, burning bright and fast. We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter across the endless span. Supernovas burst.
Ooh, hold on. Did they change that line? Sorry. Okay.
So grand. Stars keep shining brighter across the endless span.
Okay, that one is different. This one, it's the endless span, which is a nice use of that word. To be perfectly honest, I haven't used someone use that word in that context in a long time, but it is a correct use of that term.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display. Quasars beaming signals as they light the way. Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. Fusion hearts are burning, shining without fail. Galaxies are turning in their golden trail.
Oh, hold on. That's a nice line.
Galaxies are turning.
So fusion hearts are shining with no fail. I mean, we already talked about that, like the immortality of the soul. Galaxies are turning in their golden trail. That's again. That's a. I like these lines. I actually like this musicality. So galaxies are turning in their golden trails. I mean, yeah. Gold is also like associated with wealth and divinity. So yeah.
Stars keep shining brighter. Forever they'll prevail.
Again, a rejection of the nihilistic cosmology of unbecoming. The fucking aliens. Okay, fair enough. Deport the aliens. Out the fucking lock. Did you just make me watch? Hold on. I forgot to read this. Did you just make me watch Cameo Slop? Yes, you are welcome. Yeah. I mean, Don P. Bongwater's opinion on, like, the Cameo Slop is, you know, it's a personal opinion, but it's like, people like this for a reason. It's fun, right? Okay, so we're going to do one more look through this, but we're not going to do this as, like, a deep dive. We're just going to now look at the, like, what's actually going on and see if there's anything we missed.
Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. Fusion hearts are burning, never gonna pale.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Aqua's an alien. I actually straight up forgot about that. Again, I'm just going to say it. This guy, again, I've already said, I prefer women with neotenous traits, and I prefer women both physically and, like, behaviorally. And this does got my neurons activated. Not gonna lie, chat. My neurons be activated. It is kind of funny, again, because Kamimi was actually was a big anti-lolly person back in the day, and it turns out when she actually got to interact with people and actually got more familiar with this space, she was like, oh, wait a minute, it's not all gooners, this is actually fun. And she fully embraced the lolly VTuber aesthetic, and I'm like, absolutely, because it's fun, it's cute, people like it, must protect. Right? And you know what? If it's a grown woman, then yeah, sure. You know, very attractive if it's a grown woman. But at the same time, it's like, must protect. I need to give head pats, right? It's just fun. Knight of Hearts.
Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic
So yeah, so these are the Quangos.
veil. Fusion hearts are burning, never gonna pay.
When the cosmos cosmos signals, I stay locked and steady. I'll chase the fires through the endless tide. We chase the light before it fades away. Even after redshift, their brilliance will remain.
Photons crash right through.
So the telephone thing definitely catches my eye, right? Oh my! Illegal aliens, call 1-866-DHS2 ICE. I hope that number actually works. That's fucking great.
Through the gravity wall, light will conquer darkness, standing proud and tall.
So yeah, all the Christian imagery stands in contrast to obviously the literal Temple of Moloch on the fucking Little St. James with Jeffrey Epstein standing on top of it.
We are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast, but the stars keep shining brighter ever last. We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining bright.
That guy's just crashing out, to be perfectly honest. And that's what all of these Quangos seem to be doing. Like, they're just fucking crashing out at society around them, because honestly, life's just not going their way.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display. Quasars beaming signals as they guide the way.
And you know what? This is actually a pretty good representation of the kind of media created too, right? Because you can create like content that is creative and like preservative, but you can also create content that is destructive by nature. And yeah, Quangos tend to very strongly opt for media creation of material that is highly culturally destructive, right? So it does make sense that, like, again, these people are destroying everything around them.
Stars are pulsing bright up through the cosmic veil. Fusing cores are raging.
They will never fail.
I love how like that was like a straight up Homer Simpson moment, right? It's like, man, safety man asleep at the wheel.
I could never turn my eyes from glory, purely standing in the wonder of a cosmos built securely. Watch the constellations paint a masterpiece to see, burning through the ages with the blazing majesty.
Power fused together, rising from the core. Mysteries unfolding in the nucleus.
Oh, they're in a church in this one. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it looks like they're in a church, in a like destroyed church in this one.
Nuclear roar. We are cosmic dreamers, so the universe is vast, but the stars keep shining
And yeah, they're in like a again like a floating ruins.
brighter ever last. We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter, lighting up the land. Worlds are dancing round 1,000 burning suns. Hearts are beating steady as the journey runs.
And you know what? Yeah, again, when I said the whole thing about the universe being bigger because of the Cosmic Dreamers, yeah, a lot of these, especially these images, are like literally worlds that were made by the VTubers themselves, by the creators, right? So again, the creator itself, so creators in the human sphere actually do mirror in a dim way the work of the creator himself, right? But in the case of like the creator, in him, the act of creation and formation is a single act, a single movement. Whereas in the case of the human creator, the creation and formation are distinct acts, but they are intrinsically linked to each other.
I wanna reach them through the endless dark, but the distance calls me back from where they spark. Wonder burns inside me like a guiding mark. Gravity can't stop this everlasting arc. Fire, 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 fire. Fire, 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 fire.
We are cosmic dreamers,
So the universe is vast. Stars keep shining brighter, burning bright and fast.
we are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand.
Stars keep shining brighter across the endless span.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display.
Quasars beaming signals as they light the way. We sync our pulse with galaxies in their eternal spin. Momentum multiplies the power deep within. Waves
I like how his sword is made out of space. I'm just saying.
Brighter, burning bright and fast. We are stellar seekers standing in a world so grand. Stars keep shining brighter across the endless span.
Supernovas bursting with their radiant display.
Quasars beaming signals as they light the way. Stars are pulsing brighter through the cosmic veil. Fusion hearts are burning, shining without fail.
I love how Whimsy just fucking bodies the Quango. Oh my god.
Galaxies are turning in their golden trail. Stars keep shining brighter.
The tiny campfire lights.
Forever they'll prevail.
Once more, this shot is absolutely necessary to the plot. I will hear no counter arguments. No counter arguments shall be entertained. Oh, proud mama bros. Yeah, right. Again, it's very wholesome. So, I don't think I have to really explain what the metaphysic concretized in this video is, because I think I've jabbered about it quite enough, right? To be perfectly honest. Yeah. I do believe that this video is, because the function of art is to concretize a metaphysic, a view of man in his life, right? And if you ask the question, what kind of view of man in his life is this, music and this music video trying to concretize? I think it's an extremely positive view of man in his life, right? Man is not meant to just be, mortal on earth, right? To be dust that, decays into, from dust you are made and to dust you shall return kind of deal, right? No, man is meant to become divine, right? So we are meant to, again, be masters of the universe, if you will. So play Astronomical. It took me a little while. It took me actually quite a while, it seems, to get to your video, but I like it. I actually really love this song. So keep making, man. I love what you're doing. But that will be it for this video. Y'all have a lovely day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.